Good day everyone. So today I will discuss my research. My research title is the communicative competence and oral language usage of Filipino learners in English. So first is introduction, which is global. Global communicative competence is essential for effective oral language usage among Filipino learners of English, particularly in a Asian context. Scholars like Cannell and Swain 2019 laid the groundwork for understanding this concept, emphasizing the integrating of grammatical, social-linguistic, discourse, and strategic competences. So, communicative competence highlight the challenges and attitude of learning towards English, revealing how these factors influence their communicative abilities. Asha Kirkpatrick 2020 addresses the implication of world Englishes for communication in Asia, underscoring the need for culturally relevant teaching method. Overall, enhancing communicative competence among Filipino learners is crucial for their success in global contexts, enabling them to navigate diverse linguistic and cultural landscape effectively. National, according to Cannell and Swain 2017, communicative competence includes grammatical, sociolinguistic, discourse, and strategic elements. In the Philippines, where English is a second language, learners often face challenges in oral language usage due to influence from local dialect and cultural context. Bautista 2019 notes that while many students possess strong grammatical skills, they often struggle with fluency and confidence in speaking. National, in the Philippines, highlight the importance of integrating local culture and experiences into language instruction to enhance engagement and practical usage. Local, according to Cannell and Swain 2019, communicative competence include grammatical, sociolinguistic, discourse, and strategic competences. Research by Alonso 2020 indicate that while students in Davao City often excel in grammatical knowledge, they face challenges in oral language usage, particularly in fluency and confidence. Research by Alonso, students in Davao City often excel in grammatical knowledge, faces challenges in oral language usage, particularly influencing a confident. Let's proceed research objective to describe the level of the communicative competence in terms of my four indicators, which is grammar competence, discourse competence, social linguistic competence, and strategic competence. To describe the level of oral language usage of Filipino learners in English in terms of my DV indicators, which is language usage at home, language usage using different platforms, language usage in the community. Hypothesis. There is no relationship between the communicative competence and oral language usage of Filipino learners in English among senior high school students in Sagayan National High School. There is no domain of the communicative competence and oral language usage of Filipino learners in English among senior high school students in Sagayan National High School. Theoretical framework aims introduce the concept of communicative competence in 2012 as a holistic approach to understanding language proficiency beyond just grammar and vocabulary. Ames proposed that effective communication involve not only linguistic competence but also social linguistic discourse and strategic competences. And applying Ames framework to the specific context of Filipino learners in English, Educators and researchers can gain valuable insight into the challenges and opportunities faced by these learners when using English in oral communication. By integrating HAMES theories with practical teaching strategies and interventions, educators can create a supportive environment that nurtures the communicative competence of Filipino learners in English. This approach can lead to improved language proficiency, increased confidence, and enhanced communication skills among Filipino students studying English as a second language. Conceptual paradigm. My IV title is the communicative competence and the four indicators, which is grammar competence, discourse competence, social linguistic competence, strategic competence. And my DB title is Oral Language Usage of Filipino Learners in English, and the three indicators, which is language usage at home, language usage using different platforms, and language usage in the community. Research design. This study will use a quantitative non-experimental design with a descriptive correlational method to examine the relationship between two variables, including their direction and magnitude, gravity, and now 2007. So this study will use a descriptive correlational approach will be utilized to investigate the prevalence of the communicative competence and oral language usage of Filipino learners in English, provide critical knowledge with the creation of a wide of application including quantitative research Berg 2009. Research locally. Figure 2 present the local settings of the study. This study was conducted in Sagayen National High School according to the 2022 census. It has a population of 1,718 students with the land area of 2.6 hectares. Population and sample. My population and sample focus on senior high school students at Sagayan National High School from a total of 106 students. A representative sample is Loben's formulas. To my samples and population is total of 106 students for senior high school representative. The total of 106. Statistical tool. The questionnaire response were analyzed using number 1, mean, measured the communicative competence and oral language usage of Filipino learners in English. Number 2, person R assess the relationship between the communicative competence and oral language usage of Filipino learners in English. Number 3, regression analysis identified which communicative competence significance influences oral language usage of Filipino learners in English. Table 2, title my IV, the communicative competence, and with indicator. First indicator is grammar competence. Mean is 3.34. For description level is moderate. And discourse competence mean 3.35. Description level moderate. Social linguistic competence mean 3.36. Description level moderate. Strategic competence mean is 3.35. Description level moderate. Grand mean overall mean 3.35 is moderate. Table 3, this is my DV. Oral language usage of Filipino learners in English with 3 indicators. First indicator, language usage at home. Mean is 3.33. Description level is moderate. Language usage using different platforms. Mean 3.35. Description level moderate. Language usage in the community. Mean 3.34. Description level moderate. Grand mean or overall mean is 3.34. Description level is moderate. Table 4. Significance of the relationship between the communicative competence and oral language usage of Filipino learners in English. R value is 0.76. Correlation is moderately strong. R square 0.58. P-value is 0.00. Decision is rejected. Conclusion on relation significant. Table 5. Domain. The communicative competence significantly affect oral language usage of Filipino learners in English. Indicators. Grammar competence. P-value 0.00. Decision rejected. Discourse competence. P-value 0.00. Rejected. Social linguistic competence 0.00. Rejected. Strategic competence 0.00. Rejected. Summary finding. Based on the data gathered, the following findings were presented. Number 1, the level of the communicative competence among senior high school students in Cagayan National High School has an overall mean of 3.35 with a descriptive equivalent of moderate. Number 2, the level of oral language usage of Filipino learners in English among senior high school students in Cagayan National High School has an overall mean of 3.34 with a descriptive equivalent of moderate. Number 3, there is a statistically significant relationship between the communicative competence and oral language usage of Filipino learners in English in senior high school students, as indicated by a probability value of 0.00 and leading to the acceptance of the null hypothesis. 4. In statistical terms, there is significant evidence to accept the idea that the communicative competence is impact the oral language usage of Filipino learners in English, as the calculated probability value of 0.00 is within the level of significance of 0.76. Based on the findings of the study, the following conclusions are made. Number 1, the level of the communicative competence is moderately evident. Number 2, the level of oral language usage of Filipino learners in English is moderately evident. 3. There is a significant relationship between the communicative competence and oral language usage of Filipino learners in English. Number 4. The communicative competence are significant in predicting the oral language usage of Filipino learners in English among senior high school students in Sagayen National High School. Recommendation. Number 1. Based on the finding of this study, encourage to engage in real-life conversation practice. This can include role-playing scenarios, discussions, and debate on topics relevant to their interests and everyday experience, allowing them practice English in practical contexts. Number 2, use audiovisual materials such as movies, podcasts, and YouTube video that feature native speakers. This will help learners to develop their listening skill, understand different accents, and learn colloquial ex- expressions. Number three, implement cooperative learning strategies that requires students to work together on projects or presentation. This fosters the use of English in dynamic supportive environment, promoting interaction and communication skills. Number four, offers constructive feedback on students' speaking abilities through formal assessment and informal observation. Focus on aspect and the appropriate use of vocabulary and expressions. Number five, teach cultural nuances and context behind the language, including idiom and humor. Understanding cultural reference can significantly enhance a learner's ability to communicate effectively and appropriately. Number six, establish English club or conversation circle. This informal gathering provide a low pressure environment for learners to practice speaking with peers, boosting their confidence and reducing anxiety in spoken English. Number seven, leverage language learning apps and platforms that provide opportunities for speaking practice, such as language exchange with native speakers or recordings of speaking response to prompt that allows learners to practice and receive feedback. Number eight, assessing the impact of the communicative competence and oral language usage of Filipino learners in English.